You're thinking that I'm crazy, seeing red between the lines. When you tell me you need me, you're still deaf behind the eyes. 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 Is bittersweet, but you're thinking that I'm crazy, seeing red between the lines. When you tell me you need me, you're still deaf behind the eyes. Still deaf behind the eyes. Still deaf behind the eyes. Still deaf behind the eyes.
as ice from Russia, as hot as the wind in July, cool as the look in her eye, as warm as the central pay sky. I want you, I don't know why. Ice from Russia. No, you won't reply. Ice from Russia. Oh, I don't know why. Ice from Russia.
Keep popping.
Don't know why. Cold as ice from Russia, as true as her words were a lie, sure as that look in her eye, as blue as the central sky. This time I gotta fly. Ice from Russia. Yeah, I gotta fly. Ice from Russia. Don't you know I'm gonna fly? Ice from Russia. Baby, baby, don't you cry.
Usain Bolt has the step. Usain Bolt blowing away the field. Usain Bolt takes the men's 100 meters. It's a new world record. Usain Bolt has run the fastest 100 meters in the history of humankind. 9.71.
I think a lot of people just, they see you run and they say, oh, it looks so easy, it really looks effortless. But before it gets to that point, it's hard. It's like hard work. It's day in, day out, sacrifice, day in, day out. Just dying. This time when you run and you just want to stop, you just want to give up, like, the hell with this, I just want to go home. This day when you get up and you know what, you have a training today, you know it's going to be intense and you're like, oh God, I don't want to go today, but you got to go. And it's so hard and a lot of people don't know.
Usain Bolt sprinting ahead, winning by daylight.
My coach always says, in a couple of years, we're not going to have any track because we're going to take all of it home.
9.69 for Usain Bolt.
This thing, you're doing it for yourself. You're not doing it for anybody else. Yes, your family supports you. Yes, your friends support you, but you're doing it for yourself at the end of the day. And you're the only one who's going out here on the track. So you got to motivate yourself and you got to want it as much as everybody else on the track. But I know what I'm capable of and I know what I can do. So.
Bolt has the lead, widening the margin, all by himself across the line. Bolt, 19.31. Usain Bolt struck in the 100, and now he struck again.
I don't get scared easily. When I may be doing awful in training, but when I go on that track, it's like I transform. The confidence I have when I'm out there is different. No matter how far you think you're ahead of me, I'm going to catch you. That's my mentality that I go out there with. I'm never scared of anything, never scared of anyone. It's all about business when I go out there, and everything comes together when I'm on the track.
listen, the work is behind the scenes. Competition is the easy part. Behind the scenes is where the work is done. And everything is done to get to that one race that you need to run. People always say that, oh, you're saying you make it look so easy. And I'm like, it's not. It's just because behind the scenes I do so much work. So for me to get a chance to show the world what I do, why I'm this great, it makes me happy. So now they understand that it wasn't really easy for me. It's just that I put the work in.
Jamaica with a devastating performance, 37.10, a new world record.
For me, you don't know when you're going to get there. I think the key thing is to train hard, and you definitely need competition. You definitely need races in, because I've learned over the years that training helps you, but you have to compete against other people who are of a higher level to help build you up, to make you know what else you need to work on in training.
Usain Bolt, 2 clear meters. Tyson Gale in second place, and in third place is Summer Brown.
9.58, smashing the world record, unbelievable.
For me, just stay positive. I always say in life, and I've always explained to people that it sounds away, but it has to get bad to get better. You know what I mean? So when it's at your worst and people, oh my God, this is so bad, then the only way you can go now is up. You know what I mean? So for me, that's how I look at life. Sometimes it might be so bad, you're like, oh, I'm never gonna make it. But the only way you can go now is up. So all you have to do now is figure out what to do and work on that and move upwards.
I'm not done by any stretch of the imagination. I'll handle this loss like a champion. I will not shy away from it. I will not make excuses to it. I lost in there. There was errors, but errors can be fixed if you face them head on and fix them, and that's it. I will celebrate this like you should. You should celebrate all adversity, because it makes you grow and it makes you stronger. So what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and this is something that will make me stronger. We can either run from adversity, or we can face our adversity head on and conquer it, and that's what I plan to do. I'll face it, I'll take it on the chin, and I'll carry on. I'll learn. I truly believe we are all equal as human beings. If we are obsessed with something and we truly pursue our passion with everything we have, regardless of anything else, if you are obsessed, work hard, put in the time, you will succeed. And that is a philosophy that I carry, my coaches carry, and this is hard work. This is an obsession. Nothing can beat hard work. I took a chance, it didn't pay off, I'll be back.
I will be where I want to be. I'm 100% confident that I will make it to the top. I have the skills, I have the dedication. It will happen, and I'll let you know when it happens. I'm an up-and-coming fighter, and without a doubt you will see me on the UFC in the near future, without a doubt.
When the history books are written, I show up. If we are obsessed with something and we truly pursue our passion with everything we have, regardless of anything else, if you are obsessed, work hard, put in the time, you will succeed. And that is a philosophy that I carry, my coaches carry, and this is hard work. This is an obsession. Nothing can beat hard work.
Many people have this idea, I want to achieve something great or be somebody great, and they neglect the step that leads to greatness. They don't honor this step and this moment because they have this idea of some future moment where they're going to be great.
Put your head down and work with pride on whatever is in front of you. You never know where you might end up. Just be aware the next worthy pursuit will probably appear in your periphery.
Your life is a journey. You're going, you know you want to go from here to there. Whether you're going to get there, we don't know. Maybe on the way you'll branch out to somewhere else. But at least you have a certain direction. It's good to have some direction in your life. But while you are traveling, if your destination takes up most of your attention and you're continuously focusing on there, you miss all the journey, really. You can't enjoy the journey anymore. And most of your life is the journey. The arriving is relatively rare. The rest is the journey. And if you can't enjoy the journey, which means the step you're taking at this moment is really the most important thing. Because that's ultimately your whole life consists of the step you're taking at this moment. There is never anything else.
Our eyes are not viewers, they're also projectors that are running a second story over the picture that we see in front of us all the time. Fear is writing that script.
That alignment with where you are right now, to be totally where you are, and whatever you are doing now, to be total in doing it. No matter what it is, to be true to life by being true to this moment.
Go confidently in the direction of your dreams and live the life that you've imagined.
All life form strives to the max of its potential except human beings. All life form strives to the max of its potential except
Ah,
human
c'est pas du
beings.
tout un nouveau en fait. Ça fait. Mais je crois qu'il est revenu depuis peu de temps en fait.
As tall as it possibly can. You never heard of a tree growing half as high as it could. No, trees don't grow half. A tree drives its roots as deep as it can, reaches as high as it can, produces every leaf it can, every fruit it possibly can. To the max. Every life form strives to the max, except human beings. Now, why not human beings? Jot this down. You've been given the dignity of choice. You're not a robot. You don't have to repeat this year the same as last year. You can tear up last year's plan, develop a new plan. So, the dignity of being a human being. Now, here's the choice on being a human being. To be part of all we were meant to be, or to be all. To strive for all, or half, or part, or some. The choice is up to you. Life is not just the passing of time. Life is not just the passing of time. Life is a collection of experiences, their frequency, and their intensity. Life is not just watching the clock tick away. Life is a collection of experiences, their intensity, their frequency. When should you start the day? As soon as you have it finished. Plan the day the best you can, leaving plenty of room for improvising and surprises and all the stuff that happens during the course of the day. But if you've planned a good, productive day, now you start that day, you can't believe how much more valuable your time will be. Don't start the day until you have it finished. Now here's the next one. Don't start the week until you've had it finished. Now to lay out a week is a pretty good challenge. Next, don't start the month until you have it finished. The places to go and the people to see and the productivity and the sales and the customers and the development and all the rest of what you want to accomplish during the course of 30 days. Don't start the month till it's finished. And then here's the big one. This is really challenging. Don't start the year until you have it finished. To the best of your ability. It can't be finished like minute by minute. And it might get all upset. It might get torn up and you do a new one. You make so much progress the first 90 days that now you've multiplied it all by 2, by 3. Because that happened to me. I thought, wow, this is going to be a great year. By the time I'd finished the 3rd month, I'm rolling, I'm soaring. So many things are happening, I revised my whole year's plan. I got better. I got better day by day and week by week and month by month, and I'm asking you to do the same thing until you can develop a long arm and a long reach, until you can develop influence that won't quit. Touch people next year you couldn't touch this year. Touch people now you couldn't touch before. Conduct a meeting now you couldn't conduct before. Heart and soul now mixed in there that wasn't there, missing before. I'm asking all of you to get better in spite of the winters, in spite of the downturn. The money downturn, the social downturn, the personal downturn, whatever it is. Just get stronger. Get better. I'm asking you to drive worry into a small corner. You gotta worry some. All this negative stuff serves some purpose, but the key is for you to be the master, not the servant. Here's what I'm asking you to do. You be the master of worry. Drive it into a small corner. Don't let it loose. And I'm asking you to go home with some new faith and some new courage. I'm asking you, don't worry. Drive it into a small corner. We've all got concerns, and sometimes we all wonder, and sometimes there's a little crack of doubt we worry a little, but I'm telling you, drive it into a small corner. Drive your worries into a small corner. Enemies of the mind you got to do battle with in the summer. One is pessimism that tries to get you only to see the negative side. Of course, there's the negative side. Life is part.
Du coup, le jeu, ça a pour but d'être un Worms-like. Donc si t'as déjà joué à Worms 2D, bah, ça sera à peu près pareil en fait. J'avais fait une petite vidéo sur que tu peux trouver sur ma chaîne YouTube, je pense. Hop. Attends, je vais te donner le lien. Yeah, c'est là. Ah, attends. Tac. Alors ça, c'était cette vidéo, c'était le proof of concept un petit peu, pour histoire de hype un peu tous les FACS. Et c'est pas les assets définitifs, c'est rien quoi en gros. Et là du coup j'attaque le développement final le développement du jeu en lui-même. Et puis voilà, je sais pas trop quand est-ce que je vais déployer la bêta, enfin l'alpha, mais voilà. C'est ça, exactement. Et vraisemblablement, plus qu'un PlanetSide de thème, ce sera un FACS thème. Enfin, on verra. On verra. On verra comment je peux le gérer et comment ça marche, mais... À la limite, j'aimerais bien mettre la gestion des camos ou des trucs comme ça. Mais après, on peut pas... Enfin, ça risque d'être quand même assez difficile. Surtout si on veut mettre des détails sur les personnages. Donc, ce sera plus un FACS thème qu'autre chose. Mais dans l'environnement PlanetSide. Avec les TR, les Vanus, etc., etc. Mais bon, là, je travaille avec... Il y a un des FACS, c'est un graphiste. Et je travaille avec lui, mais il n'a pas encore fait vraiment les... Il n'a pas encore fait vraiment les assets. Et en gros, on hésite sur... Hop. Si je te montre le doc. Le doc que j'ai fait. Hop. Ouais, du coup, alors ce doc c'est un peu ce que va regrouper le jeu. Et avec les différentes périodes, l'alpha, la bêta, la release, les buts que j'aimerais bien qu'ils soient dans ces versions-là. Et du coup, ouais, après l'inspiration elle est là quoi, c'est un Worms. Et j'aimerais bien après en termes de design, même de style graphique, que ça se rapproche un petit peu de Rayman's Origin, qui est quand même un jeu assez joli, assez détaillé. Et du coup Elebrin, le FACS qui va nous faire les graphismes, je pense à moyen vraiment de s'éclater avec du design comme ça. Oh, voilà.
Hey,
salut Purple.
Je te dérange pas?
Non, pas du tout.
Non.
Pas du tout, tu me déranges pas du tout.
Et cool.
Alors...
T'es toujours en stream?
Ouais. Ouais.
Ah, je peux pas dire ce que je veux là.
Non, tu peux pas dire ce que tu veux, parfait.
Est-ce qu'il y a des gens qui regardent en vrai?
Il y a Rio Tueur.
Oh merde. Le bolos. Et il me tue qu'avec ce sniper, putain, il casse les couilles. Pas jouer autre chose.
Après Rio, l'idée elle existe déjà, hein, c'est rien de vraiment très original.
Bon, attends, parce qu'il te parle en plus.
Oui, il parle sur le chat.
Waouh.
Waouh.
Je suis subjugué. Wow.
Damn shit. Je peux mettre en voice active en push to talk si tu veux Purple. Comme ça tu m'entends pas tellement quand il parle.
Non, je m'en fous, t'inquiète.
Et sinon Rio Turer n'est pas in-game.
Ouais, je sais.
Ok.
Je sais, mais il m'a tué deux fois, enfin une fois tout à l'heure en TR, et une fois en a trade, et une fois il m'a tué, je crois, avec son fufu en vanille là. Il a recruté avec un petit nouveau avec Capitaine, c'était marrant.
Ouais.
J'ai demandé à assister à l'entretien pour voir dessus. C'est assez marrant comment il fait ça, Capi. Moi j'ai pas eu ça avec Gumpy, hein. Moi c'est Gumpy qui avait fait mon entretien, c'était assez bizarre. Hein. Toi t'es en train de mourir de chaud.
J'ai chaud. J'ai très chaud.
Ça te dit un peu de Rocket League?
Non.
Allez, salut. Vous êtes combien dans votre escouade mandalorienne? Nous sommes 6 tout le temps, on va dire 6, comment dire, pas standard mais officiel, on va dire. Et quand il en manque un sur ces 6 là, et ben on prend un FACS qui n'en fait pas partie pour le faire tester cette escouade. Tu l'as expliqué du coup?
Quoi? Non.
Tu l'as expliqué l'escouade?
Tu
lui as expliqué?
Non, non.
Bah, comment il le sait du coup?
Oh, j'en sais absolument rien.
What the hell? C'est qui leader Ross? Alors en tant qu'on va dire leader Ross,
alors,
on va dire.
le squad leader de la Mandalorian, c'est moi. Après le leader du projet en lui-même,
Ouais,
c'est
c'est
Ross.
l'instigateur, on va dire. Enfin
Le papa, tu vois, celui
ouais,
qui l'a fait naître.
Ouais, je sais pas si on peut dire le papa, mais je sais pas comment dire ça. Jean-Michel a eu l'idée, tu vois.
Ouais.
C'est Ross. Jean-Michel qui a eu l'idée, c'est Ross. Et Purple, tout le monde est au courant que vous êtes une connerie. Ah bon? Bah comment ça se sait? Il me semble pas qu'on l'ait dit spécialement. Tout le monde en mode, tout le monde en parle, genre c'est l'actu people de PNSI 2 ou?
L'actu people PNSI 2.
Oh, j'ai lâché un sale truc tout à l'heure. J'ai fait essayer de finir un peu le sniper là, le gosse SPR de merde là, qui est nul. Et j'en avais marre, j'ai pris mon heavy et puis je suis arrivé dans une salle, il y avait 5 heavy, les 5 ils sont passés avec le même chargeur de GD22. C'était l'orgie. Voilà. Je tenais à en parler parce que c'était cool. J'ai RT. Les exodes, on le sait à peu près tous, les autres, je sais pas. D'accord. Ouais, mais après, bon, les exodes, enfin, je sais pas, il y en a quelques-uns qui sont venus à certaines OP et puis voilà. Peut-être que Kelpan a parlé, enfin, il y a peut-être eu l'occasion de parler avec Rebellion et puis voilà. Mais autrement, je pense que le reste des gens s'en battent les couilles. Mentir, tout le monde s'en fout.
Parce qu'on a pas mal qui s'en battent les couilles.
Bah clairement, tout le monde s'en fout de ce que font les FACS en opération, hein, je pense. Hein. À part essayer de tryhard des fois en auto-camp. Je te comprends, papa, c'est de la merde. Ah oui, c'est vraiment de la merde. J'arrive à avoir un KPH et un KD très bien, mais alors ça me casse tellement les couilles que j'arrête de viser la tête et puis je tire sur tous les gens que je vois là. Et puis, du coup, j'ai un HSR dégueulasse. Alors, j'aime pas jouer les snipers, je joue que pour finir ces guns là de merde, avoir le moonshot. Et putain.
I'm asking you to be touched with the smallest of people's challenge. Don't just be touched with the challenge. I'm asking you to be touched with the problem. Let people's problems get to
Dis-toi, le Ghost SPR, j'ai 2 de KPM avec.
Be touched.
Moi ça me paraît pas mal, hein, mais...
Ça paraît pas mal, on est quand même pour moi, t'inquiète pas, hein. C'est pas mal.
Struggling with their future, I'm asking you to let that get around your heart. Let it do something to you. Don't go untouched. Don't go unmoved. When you walk out of here, open yourself up. Don't build up the walls. The same wall that keeps out disappointment, keeps out happiness and opportunity. Take the walls down. Let yourself be touched by what's going on out there. Let sad things make you sad, as well as happy things make you happy. Let your heart get touched. What a next year you could have if you pay more attention this year, soak it up, gather it up, and reflect at certain times what's going on and what's happening, and this year will take a more powerful place in your experience. People will not believe the words you've chosen. They will not believe the heart and soul that you've mixed.
Putain, j'ai un mate avec moi sur Rocket League, il pue la merde, oh mon dieu. Moi j'aime bien, surtout quand je tombe contre vous, ça marche super bien. Bah oui, normal, y'a qu'avec ça que t'arrives à me tuer. Non, par contre, en vrai, c'est plutôt vrai. C'est pas méchant, hein, mais y'a que ça qui me tue, hein. Franchement.
Let's touch people with our experiences. Let's touch people with our heart and soul. But here's what I did. I worked around the clock, so that I would make up in numbers what I lacked in skill. When you're new, you make up in numbers what you lacked in skill. Now, when you become more skillful, the numbers.
On n'a jamais investi un lourd. Si, c'est déjà croisé.
If you want to compete or if you want to really get good, you got to put in the numbers. I'll tell you what's really going to serve you well, and that's the excitement you feel inside that isn't even probably expressed on the outside, the excitement that runs deep, the excitement that stirs commitment, the excitement that stirs courage.
Fais l'OPF, ça...
Ouais, je pense que je serai arbitre.
Arbitre?
Ouais.
C'est-à-dire?
Arbitre!
Et tu seras Jean-Michel Empire?
Je serai Jean-Michel Empire.
D'accord. Je suis subjugué. Bah écoute, moi je serai pas là. Allez, salut. Au début je pensais la faire et puis il y a Roland Garros. Du coup bah non. Pourquoi faut que vous fassiez ça la semaine de Roland Garros?
Je sais pas.
Mais sachant que je suis toujours. Oui, bah oui, bah c'est normal.
I've always believed in numbers, in the equations and logics that lead to reason. But after a lifetime of...
Faites quoi d'autre comme truc pour le 4e anniversaire des FACS? C'est quoi qu'on fait pour... Alors hier soir il y avait OP avec plein de gens là. Ce qu'on va faire aussi c'est... On fait un event entre nous sur le live. Qu'est-ce qu'on fait d'autre? Ah oui, une event entière en roleplay Ruskov, tu vois. Genre comme Rod, hein. On parle tel des petits du RSSiens. Et bah ouais, puis après je sais pas.
You gotta have this kind of rest before you go to the gym. You gotta have this meal 3 hours before you go to the gym. You gotta take this supplement 15 minutes before you go to the gym. At intervals during your workout, you gotta take this, you gotta do this. You need to be cautious of all that stuff. It's all bullshit.
It was very important to me to build the rest of the body up to that level. And then eventually, after 10 years of training, I got to the level where I really felt, so now there's the perfect situation, perfect body, the symmetry was right and all that stuff.
C'est impossible. Il y a vraiment des mecs avec la GD22S, je suis sûr ils stat pad. C'est hallucinant.
I didn't want to just be a movie star, I wanted to be a great movie star. That's the highest paid movie star and have above the title billing. You never want to fail because you didn't work hard enough.
Give me a guy who's got the mindset, I didn't get any sleep last night, but it's time to work out, let's go to the gym, let's kick ass. Or give me a guy like that who isn't thinking about those things, but gets to the gym and becomes one. You didn't get as much protein today, you didn't get as much sleep as maybe you should have, those type of things. What does it fucking matter? What does it matter? Don't fucking step down and beat somebody else's silly ass fucking standard that is not backed up by fucking any real world experience. You will always be learning and you will always be starting over.
Mec, il est au courant de choses, même moi je suis au courant.
Il a dû recevoir un message de Kelp, je pense.
Et... Ah ouais. Ah oui, c'était des FACS toi.
You're thinking too much.
Rio Turer, t'as été FACS, merde.
You're giving too much attention to the small things that don't really matter, and you're not giving enough attention to the big, broader, more basic things that do.
Hahaha. T'imagines que ça a reçu un message.
Ask yourselves, who do you want to be? I've always figured
out
that there's
fait
24
attention
hours
à
a
enlever.
day. You sleep 6 hours, and I have 18 hours left. Now I know there's some of you out there now and says, well, wait a minute, I sleep 8 hours or 9 hours. Well, then just sleep faster, I would recommend. You never want to fail because you didn't work hard enough. And ask yourselves, who do you want to be? You can't climb the ladder of success with your hands in a pocket.
I was poor.
Merde, t'y as trouvé, fuck. Bah oui.
Because I didn't have anything. I had no money, I had no things, we had no TV, we had no refrigerator, we had nothing as kids. But I was rich because I had a dream.
Pati, oui. 2.4 de KPM, ça fait combien de kills dans une heure?
Ça fait beaucoup.
Ça fait 120... 150? Ce serait ça.
Ouais, je pense ouais.
Attends, vous aimez pas les exodes ou juste Poison? Alors ça dépend qui. Tu demandes à beaucoup de fax, ils s'en battent les couilles. Tu demandes à certains fax, ils détestent Poison. Tu demandes à moi, je déteste la plupart des exodes.
Po
Non mais c'est vrai, je vais pas les mentir avec sur le stream en mode ouais je te kiffe. Bah non, voilà.
I didn't want to just be a bodybuilding champion, I wanted to be the best bodybuilder of all times.
He said, I want to be the biggest bodybuilder in the world, the greatest bodybuilder in the world, the richest bodybuilder in the world. He said, I want to be a film star, and I want to go into politics.
But I had no idea that it would go as far as it did, that it would go beyond the body rolls, beyond the muscles, and then do movies like Terminator, Predator, End of Days and stuff like that.
Oh là là, je suis avec un con dans ma team de Rocket League là, c'est vraiment génial. Pourquoi tu nous aimes pas? On n'a rien fait à part te farm. Alors vous me farmez pas, non non. Vous m'avez rien fait? Non, c'est question de...
I only stopped competing, but I'm not stopping bodybuilding. It's the greatest sport. Thank you.
There's absolutely no way around hard work. None of my rules, by the way, of success will work unless you do.
he talked about him winning Mr. Universe. He says to me now he's the Mr. Olympia. And then when he competed and won Mr. Olympia, his goal was to win it many times, which he won it 7 times.
I love feeling like an outsider. I never want to be one of a million. If I wanted to be one of a million, I would have never got the body that I got. If I wanted to be one of a million, I would have never wanted to become the biggest star in the world.
I never wanted to lose a competition or lose an election because I didn't work hard enough. I always believed leaving no stone unturned. Muhammad Ali, one of my great heroes, had a great line in the 70s when he was asked, how many sit-ups do you do? He said, I don't count my sit-ups, I only start counting when it starts hurting. When I feel pain, that's when I start counting because that's when it really counts. That's what makes you a champion. That's the way it is with everything. No pain, no gain. I mean, how many times have you heard that you can't
J'ai dit que Raiden c'était le meilleur des FACS.
PMDR. Alors je veux pas décevoir hein, mais
As a matter of fact, I love it when someone says that never, no one has ever done this before.
moi je dis rien,
because
c'est la
when
FACS
I
c'est
do
trop
it,
fort. Mais après je
that
sais
means
vraiment
that I'm
venir.
the first one that has done it.
Tiens, toi qui as un œil totalement extérieur à la FACS, puisque tu t'en fais pas partie. Qui pour toi est le meilleur
So pay
FACS?
no attention to the people that say it can't be done.
C'est marrant parce qu'à chaque fois que je pose la question à quelqu'un du néophyte, et bah tout le monde répond quelque chose de différent, c'est génial.
Well, I grew up in Austria. I was born after the Second World War in 1947. It was poverty. There was no food around, really nothing. And I think that was the reason why I developed such a tremendous desire, a desire to get out of there, and a desire to make it in life, to achieve big things.
Trust yourself, break some rules, don't be afraid to fail, ignore the naysayers, work like hell, and give something back. Don't be afraid to fail. Anything I've ever attempted, I was always willing to fail. You can't be paralyzed by fear of failure, or you will never push yourself. You keep pushing because you believe in yourself and in your vision. And you know that it's the right thing to do and success will come, so don't be afraid to fail.
Each year you live, it's 1 year less.
When you're out there partying, horsing around, someone out there at the same time is working hard. Someone is getting smarter and someone is winning. Just remember that.
C'est marrant, je suis jamais cité comme les meilleurs joueurs de la fac.
Nous non plus, t'inquiète pas. Mais Ryotuor, je sais pas si tu sais que Naken, c'est quasiment sûr qu'il a un lag wizard, hein. Tu le sais, hein. Même ses mates. C'est drôle, hein. T'inquiète pas. Même ses mates, ils pensent qu'il a du cheat au niveau connexion.
It's not worth it. Your friend will be there. The alternative is you go through life and you had this great idea and nothing came of it because you got tired.
Oui, bah t'en sais rien, moi non plus j'en sais rien. Peut-être qu'il a rien. Mais pour avoir joué une seule fois contre lui, à aucun moment donné il était en face de moi quand il m'a tué. Donc déjà, tu peux dire que niveau connexion il est relou. Mais t'inquiète pas, enfin, c'est comme quand tu croises Pro-Orion sur Cobalt. Hein. Ce qui me snipe, non, franchement, non. Au snipe, justement, c'est ce qui est le plus facile à jouer sur le jeu. Donc bon.
Success was the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Anyone that has a goal and they're moving towards it, they're successful.
They're scared. They're scared of complications. They're scared of failure. Failure is a big one that people are afraid of, but failure is one of the most important things you could ever have as far as like the motivation to do things differently.
Toi, t'es le meilleur leader, c'est pour ça. C'est vrai en plus. C'est vrai. Pour moi, c'est le meilleur leader que je connaisse.
C'est gentil.
C'est vrai, c'est vrai.
Non, mais c'est vrai. Non, mais.
Sans prétention, tu peux le dire, tu es le meilleur. Moi, franchement, tu es le meilleur leader que je connaisse.
Oui. Non, mais de la FACS, oui.
Ah non, mais de la
Après,
FACS.
je pense qu'il y a des meilleurs. Il y a des meilleurs leaders. Peut-être pas francophone, enfin je pense francophone sur Miller doit y en avoir des pas mauvais.
Moi je pense à Lospud, mais après le truc c'est Lospud, c'est qu'il joue qu'avec des gens extrêmement très bons.
Ouais. Tu sais qu'un jour je me suis demandé...
C'est comme en Mandalorian au final. Tu lis très bien, y a pas de souci, mais t'as moins de choses à dire que une squad de FACS classique on va dire.
Après tu sais que je me suis déjà demandé, et si je quittais la FACS et que je rejoignais les Hydra, pour l'idée des joueurs
enfin genre des monstres
ultra compétents, comment je pourrais évoluer quoi.
Ah ouais, tu t'amuserais. Tu t'amuserais c'est sûr, après bon le truc c'est que connaissant certains Hydra, ils regarderaient tes stats et ils te chieraient dessus quoi. C'est pas méchant hein, mais c'est vrai hein. Je pense qu'il y aurait de ça. Je suis sûr hein. T'as des certains Hydra, ils regardent tellement les stats, c'est hallucinant.
Ouais. Et ça m'a fait rire quand il y a Sterners qui nous a dit que Valman il s'était fait cracher dessus quand il avait voulu rejoindre les Hydra.
Valman qui se fait raid par des Hydra quoi.
Il s'est fait cracher dessus genre.
Alors que pourtant il est meilleur que Hydra.
Ouais, mais c'est son comportement derrière. Hein. Valman, personne veut de lui. Hein.
C'est un connard. Hein. Bah c'est Valman quoi. Ah.
Ouais. Et il est venu hier dans le channel, il fait c'est cool, moi je veux vous farmer, désolé pour vous les gars, mais je trouve ça cool pour moi. Ce fils de pute. C'est assez incroyable quand même.
Ah puis c'est un level, c'est hallucinant.
Ah ouais.
La moitié des H font que du armure du chat. Ah oui bien sûr. Ils sont extrêmement cheese, ça y a pas de souci là-dessus, mais pour les avoir déjà joué en infanterie, pour les avoir déjà... J'ai traîné une fois je crois contre eux sur la PTS, oui. Des putains de monstres. Hein. La plupart c'est quand même des très bons joueurs. Pas très bons joueurs. Sans aucune prétention, il y en a quand même une grosse partie que je détruis. Mais putain,
au secours,
salut Kelp.
Au secours, il y a des nouveaux dans le canal, on se croirait que j'allais faire élever.
Fais gaffe, il est en stream à type et qu'il y a du Exode qui écoute.
Et alors?
Je sais pas,
Exode, ça va quoi putain? Comment allez-vous les petits Exode? Rio tu OMG, reviens parmi nous.
Mais non putain, on veut pas de lui.
OMG, mais attention, il y a des Exode qui écoutent.
Aïe aïe aïe.
Je retourne chapeauter là. On dirait un Luxian qui s'est trouvé une vocation de père là. On dirait un papa avec les nouveaux.
Mais par contre, autant Major je ne connais pas, mais autant le soldat d'hiver, on est d'accord sur la dernière phrase que tu m'as mis en tel. Non, on est d'accord.
Je sais pas.
Moi honnêtement l'entretien il m'a paru bizarre.
C'est le prof de Berilo.
On verra bien.
Voilà.
Qu'est-ce qu'il t'a envoyé en tel?
Ça. Le dernier message qu'il m'envoie en tel c'est ça.
Ah ouais.
Non, il est vraiment comme je viens de te l'écrire.
Bah, il me l'a dit, il m'a dit un petit peu calme.
C'est assez spé, on va dire. On va dire c'est comme ça.
J'ai bien aimé hier soir, je sais plus qui disait ça. Ouais, pour les 20 fun, bah, je vais pas vous encourager, hein, mais vous pouvez venir bourrer. Hein.
C'est qui ça?
C'était Kelp, je crois. Ça va être drôle, du coup je suis allé m'acheter des petites bières.
Bah moi je serais peut-être là du coup, parce qu'en fait je voulais regarder un match précis sur Roland Garros, mais il va commencer là tout de suite. Alors qu'il est censé commencer à 20h.
Oh!
Du coup je serais peut-être là.
Match de qui contre qui?
C'est deux Français, c'est Gasquet contre mon fils.
Ok. Putain, les Français ils se sont tous fait dégager quoi.
Bah Tsonga ouais, non mais il reste Gasquet mon fils.
Ouais.
Et
il y en a un des deux qui va partir.
Chez les filles il y a 3 en 8ème, c'est pas mal.
Ouais. Après moi j'aime pas le tennis, je trouve ça chiant.
Ouais, bah j'en ai fait moi.
Ouais.
Que ça aide un peu on va dire.
Ouais.
Bref, je vais te laisser.
Ok.
Peut-être à ce soir sûrement même.
Ouais, ce soir. Oui.
Even when it leads you off the well-worn path, and that will make all the difference.
Il y a un bon... Alors je t'avoue que je connais pas un seul joueur belge en tennis.
Special goals or ambitions or desires, when really deep down inside we do really want more. Find out what it is you want and go after it as if your life depends on it. Why? Because it does. Time for you to look within yourself and decide that I'm in charge of my destiny. I'm in charge here. Insanity is doing the same thing in the same way, expecting a different outcome.
Bah, je pense, ouais. Enfin, faut voir. Enfin, je pense pas qu'il y ait vraiment de soucis. Donc, ouais. Bah, tu connais à peu près les heures qu'on a en up. C'est le lundi, mercredi et vendredi. On commence à 9h, à 21h et on finit à 23h. Donc, si tu viens vers 20h45, puis voilà, il n'y a pas de soucis. Hein.
For a paycheck. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not living. And a friend of mine said, you know when people change? And I said, no. He said, when they get to the point when they say, I've had it. I've had it.
I was kind of maniacal. Since I didn't believe in weekends. Until I was about 30, I didn't believe in vacations at all. Stay up all night. So for my 20s and 30s, I think the Microsoft thing is perfect.
What has brought you to this point? What did you learn from it? I remember a story about a lady who went to the doctor and she was diagnosed with terminal
Ce vieux et les brines. Ce vieux et les brines.
Table and she was drinking some coffee and all of a sudden she just looked up and she said, I refuse to die an unlived life. I refuse to die an unlived life. And she decided that she was going to live.
removed.
Are you learning anything, or are you doing it over and over and over again? The real challenge of growth, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, comes when you get knocked down. But during those down moments, that's where the growth takes place. That's where the work is. See, anybody can feel good when they have their health, their bills are paid, they have happy relationships, children are active.
Tu l'as mis en PS là, Elebrin. Tu nous l'as mis en PLS le réutureur. Ah ok, pas de C.
Insanity is doing the same thing in the same way, expecting a different outcome. Pretending that we're satisfied where we are, pretending that everything is okay, pretending that we don't have any special goals or ambitions or desires, when really deep down inside we do really want more. People tell you, oh yeah, one day I want to have a restaurant. See, they're pretending they want to go into business for themselves. They're not serious. How can you tell, Les? Watch their actions. Watch what they're doing. The proof is in the pudding. So if you want to do something, if you thought about something you want to do, take it head on. Decide that you're going to start looking at it, start doing research on it, start tackling it, start becoming involved in whatever and wherever it might lead you to begin to explore the possibilities in that particular thing that you're seeking. Decide that you're going to face it, that whatever shortcomings you have, that you're going to strengthen yourself there. Whatever training that's required, that you're going to go get that training, that you're going to get started right now. Most people go through life quietly and safely, tiptoeing to an early grave. You got to live what's in you. Life is just too short and unpredictable.
Ah, Valman, on pourrait écrire une dissertation sur sa personne quand même. Tu pourrais écrire des bouquins de psychologie entiers sur Valman, ça c'est sûr. Hein. Alors rien.
If you died today, what ideas? What dreams? What abilities? What talents? What gifts?
C'est ça, c'est vrai.
not the things we do in life that we regret on our deathbed. It is the things we do not. For the Reaper will come for all of us. The question is, what do we do between the time we're born and the time he shows up? We don't beat the Reaper by living longer. We beat the Reaper by living well and living fully.
When you want to change, it's not easy. If it were in fact easy, everybody would do it. But if you're serious, you'll go all out. Yes, I'm going to turn this situation around. I'm not going to sit back and moan and cry over what happened and what went wrong and who did what. I'm going to do something about this situation.
You are ready and able to do beautiful things in this world. And as you walk through those doors today, you will only ever have two choices, love or fear. Choose love, and don't ever let fear turn you against your playful heart.
Dedication, hard work. Dedication, hard work. On one-man army. One-man army. The world can go against me. I'm still coming on top.
Work hard, be kind, and amazing things will happen.
Relax and dream up a good life.
And you will need to find your passion. So your passion must come from the things that fuel you from the inside. And honors and awards are nice things, but only to the extent that they regard the real respect from your peers. And to be thought well of by other people that you think even more highly of is a tremendous honor that I've been granted. Find your passion.
Ah, ce serait pas mal s'il l'avait résolu.
What you do at work, what you do in official settings, that passion will be grounded in people. And it will be grounded in the relationships you have with people and what they think of you when your time comes.
Because everything you gain in life will rot and fall apart, and all that will be left of you is what was in your heart.
And if nothing else, I hope that all of you can find that kind of passion and that kind of love in your life.
Okay, let's go and try it.
As someone who's done what you're about to go and do, I can tell you from experience, the effect you have on others is the most valuable currency there is.
What?
How will you serve the world? What do they need that your talent can provide? That's all you have to figure out. Don't let anything stand in the way of the light that shines through this form. Risk being seen in all of your glory. Because ultimately, we're not the avatars we create. We're not the pictures on the film stock. We are the light that shines through. All else is just smoke and mirrors, distracting, but not truly compelling.
Find your passion and follow it. And if there is anything I have learned in my life, you will not find that passion in things. And you will not find that passion in money. Because the more things and the more money you have, the more you will just look around and use that as the metric, and there will always be someone with more. And if nothing else, I hope that all of you can find that kind of passion and that kind of love in your life.
I've often said that I wished people could realize all their dreams and wealth and fame, and so that they could see that it's not where you're going to find your sense of completion.
So I decided to drop out and trust that it would all work out okay. It was pretty scary at the time, but looking back, it was one of the best decisions I ever made.
This painting took me thousands of hours to complete.
You will start that process of change. Do something different the next 90 days than you did the last 90 days. What you have at the moment, you've attracted by the person you've become.
As far as I can tell, it's just about letting the universe know what you want and working toward it while letting go of how it comes to pass.
Of course, it was impossible to connect the dots looking forward when I was in college, but it was very, very clear looking backwards 10 years later.
It's not what happens that determines the major part of your future. It's not what happens. What happens, happens to us all. Except the key is what you do about it.
The minute I dropped out, I could stop taking the required classes that didn't interest me and begin dropping in on the ones that looked far more interesting.
To find real peace, you have to let the armor go. Once that button is functioning in your life, there's no story that the mind could create that will be as compelling. My My soul is not contained within the limits of my body. My body is contained within the limitlessness of my soul. Like many of you, I was concerned about going out into the world and doing something bigger than myself.
And one day, I'm going to have my own business.
There will always be someone who's doing better than you. No matter what you gain, ego will not let you rest. It will tell you you cannot stop until you've left an indelible mark on the earth, until you've achieved immortality.
But I'll tell you, once you throw the towel in, you're done. You gotta learn what you can do and what you can't do. You gotta take some things in one ear and out the other ear. And when you do that, you'll be a lot better off. But all of a sudden, when something does go wrong, or unexpectedly, tragedy or whatever, you gotta apply that in a way that can take you and bring you to a higher level than you've ever been.
Pas de soucis, bah oui.
If you will change, everything will change for you. You don't have to change what's outside. All you've got to change is what's inside.
It wasn't all romantic. I didn't have a dorm room, so I slept on the floor in friends' rooms. I returned Coke bottles for the 5-cent deposits to buy food with. And I would walk the 7 miles across town every Sunday night to get one good meal a week at the Hare Krishna temple. And much of what I stumbled into by following my curiosity and intuition turned out to be priceless later on.
No excuses. No victim mentality. The world owes you nothing. And if you start from the feeling that you need the world to participate in order for you to be successful at taking on this new thing that you're considering doing, you're right to be scared. But if you start from the perspective that the world owes you nothing, which it doesn't, you have nothing to lose. Because really, isn't that for every one of the people you brought onto your team, isn't that how you want them to feel when they report to you? You don't want excuses. That doesn't mean that you can't fail or that they can't ever fail. But right when you're starting, you have nothing to lose. So you can't lose. Spend 99% of your time imagining what would happen if things went well and planning for that. Because there's no downside. It's like a free option on an adventure.
This is hard. Every day is hard. And if you don't have the stomach to weather the storm, you will not be successful.
Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking and don't settle.
Don't allow but to keep you in the corner, keep you up in the bleachers, looking at life, being a spectator, not being a participant, making a difference in life.
You come in every day fired up.
How many of you thought about some things that you know that you deserve or you want out of life or you would like to enjoy, experience, and you found yourself blocking yourself? Raise your hand if that ever happened to you before. Why aren't you doing what you really want to do? Oh, I can do it, but just kept on coming up. We block ourselves and we use these words almost like we're in a trance, like we're sleepwalking through life, that we find ways to cancel out our dreams. And I think that but is a dream killer. That a lot of things that we want to do, a lot of places we would like to go, a lot of things we would like to experience, and we just stop at but. But is an argument for our limitations. And when we argue for our limitations, we get to keep them. See, but will cause you to procrastinate. But will cause you to hide out behind fear. But will cause you to come up with all type of excuses that you can validate your inaction and not acting on your dream. And right now, more than ever, people need to look for ways to live their dream. People need to look for ways to make it on their own. To build a case on why you can't move on, why you can't grow to the next level, why you can't begin to manifest your greatness, why you can't begin to live life on your terms. Always something there to block you, to keep you where you are, and keep you from beginning to develop your true greatness. Always some fear. How do we handle it? And I'm saying that if you've been hiding out behind but, if you've been using the fact that you don't have enough money or you don't have the education, take it head on. Go get the education.
Get your ass kicked, get back up, and you put the gloves back on and you swing away.
I'm the greatest thing that ever lived. I don't have a mark on my face, and I upset Sonny Liston, and I just turned 22 years old. I must be the greatest.
Inspire people, don't instruct people. Concentrate on how you can inspire people, not instruct people. You want to change the world? You don't change them through instruction, you change them through inspiration. They don't write about lives that instructed other people, they write about the great lives that inspired other people. Your life, your choice. Heraclitus said, every 100 soldiers in war, he said 10 of them don't even fucking belong there. 80 of them are just targets. Nine of them do most of the fighting. The one, he is a warrior. Be a warrior in your life. Don't be one of the millions, be one in a million.
You've got to be willing to go against the tide. You've got to be willing to harness your will and say, in spite of this, I'm in control here. I'm not going to let this get me down. I'm not going to let this destroy me. When you want to change, it's not easy. If it were in fact easy, everybody would do it. But if you're serious, you'll go all out. So yes, I'm going to turn this situation around. I'm not going to sit back and moan and cry over what happened and what went wrong and who did what. I'm going to do something about this situation.
Never say never. Because limits, like fears, are often just an illusion.
Be a warrior in your life. Don't be one of the millions, be one in a million.
What had been the focus of my entire adult life was gone, and it was devastating. Sometimes life's going to hit you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith.
Not religion, but faith. Not hope, but faith. I don't believe in hope. Hope is a beggar. Hope walks through the fire, and faith leaps over it.
But something slowly began to dawn on me. I still loved what I did. I'd been rejected, but I was still in love. And so I decided to start over. I didn't see it then, but it turned out that getting fired from Apple was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. The heaviness of being successful was replaced by the lightness of being a beginner again. I'm pretty sure none of this would have happened if I hadn't been fired from Apple. It was awful tasting medicine, but I guess the patient needed it. I'm convinced that the only thing that kept me going was that I loved what I did. You've got to find what you love, and that is as true for work as it is for your lovers. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking and don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it.
I've never really viewed myself as particularly talented. Where I excel is ridiculous, sickening work ethic. You know, while the other guy's sleeping, I'm working. While the other guy's eating, I'm working.
Dedication, hard work. Dedication, hard work. I'm a one-man army. One-man army. The world can go against me. I'm still come on top.
I listen to my gut instincts. You're genius. Your gut instincts, they're the purest form of truth that there is.
I want you to live the life that you came here to live.
to be you, not be anybody else. When every answer that you need is already in you. I've never seen any human being. I've traveled all over the world many times. I've never seen one human being who didn't have the potential in them to live a great, incredible life.
There's no easy way around it. No matter how talented you are, your talent is going to fail you if you're not skilled.
You don't need to ask others for fucking answers. They're there in you, if you will ask yourself. But I've met many who refuse to choose to do so.
The captain said to the guy, listen, he said, tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock, you can face the firing squad, or you can go out this door over here. And the guy said, what's out the door? He said, no one knows. All we can tell you is just unknown horrors. He thought, and the next morning he selected the firing squad. A lot of people never do the things they want to do. A lot of people stay on jobs where they're miserable. After the shots rang out, the captain's secretary said, what's beyond that door? And he said, freedom. Many of us choose an active living death. Many of us are walking dead. The walking dead. That we're not doing what we want to do. Many of us stay in relationships where we're dying together rather than growing and expanding and living together. After the shots rang out, the captain's secretary said, what's beyond that door? And he said, freedom. But very few people would select to do it because it's unknown.
Doing genius stuff, doing something original will never be built.
Eyes are not viewers, they're also projectors that are running a second story over the picture that we see in front of us all the time. Fear is writing that script, and the working title is I'll Never Be Enough.
Now that you've made your choice, or rather succumbed to it, your path is clear. Not easy, but clear. You have to keep working. It's that simple.
Stay hungry, stay foolish.
Every morning you wake up, there are two doors. And there are thundering knocks at each one of them. Behind one lies your destiny and living. Behind the other lies death. Living is engaging your life with intensity and passion. Once you get through all the pages and all the rules and all the principles and all the formats and all the plans and all the templates, it comes down to that. Do the fucking work. Start today. I don't care when your life clock started ticking. You can start fucking right now today. By 6/16, you can change your fucking perspective of the world and of your life. My advice? Fucking do it. Dig fucking deep and get it done. Do the work of your life.
Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking.
No matter what anybody tells you, words and ideas can change the world.
Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become.
I stand upon my desk to remind myself that we must constantly look at things in a different way. Just when you think you know something, you have to look at it in another way. Even though it may seem silly or wrong, you must try. Boys, you must strive to find your own voice. Because the longer you wait to begin, the less likely you are to find it at all. Thoreau said most men lead lives of quiet desperation. Don't be resigned to that. Break out.
I suddenly had this kind of thing wash over me where I thought, imagine chasing that and not getting it, and getting it finally in your 80s or your 90s with all of life behind you and realizing what an unbelievable waste of your, it can't fill you up. It will never, if that's a hole that you have, that won't fill it. imagined another one of me, you know, an old man, kind of going like, oh my God, where did my life go? What have I done?
Reed College at that time offered perhaps the best calligraphy instruction in the country. Throughout the campus, every poster, every label on every drawer was beautifully hand calligraphed. Because I had dropped out and didn't have to take the normal classes, I decided to take a calligraphy class to learn how to do this. I learned about serif and sans serif typefaces, about varying the amount of space between different letter combinations, about what makes great typography great. It was beautiful, historical, artistically subtle in a way that science can't capture, and I found it fascinating. None of this had even a hope of any practical application in my life. But 10 years later, when we were designing the first Macintosh computer, it all came back. And we designed it all into the Mac. It was the first computer with beautiful typography. If I had never dropped in on that single course in college, the Mac would have never had multiple typefaces or proportionally spaced fonts. If I had never dropped out, I would have never dropped in on that calligraphy class, and personal computers might not have the wonderful typography that they do. Of course, it was impossible to connect the dots looking forward when I was in college, but it was very, very clear looking backwards 10 years later.
And if you don't bring your idea out here, when you die, all of us will suffer because we've been deprived of your genius because you allowed butt to keep you in the bleachers and not pursuing your greatness. You'll take it to your grave with you.
I was lucky. I found what I loved to do early in life. Woz and I started Apple in my parents' garage when I was 20. We worked hard, and in 10 years, Apple had grown from just the two of us in a garage into a $2 billion company with over 4,000 employees.
Go confidently in the direction of your dreams and live the life that you've imagined.
And if you can't summon up the energy, the excitement, the enthusiasm for something, then your life every day is going to be a drag to wake up to. When you crawl out from underneath the covers every morning and you sit on the edge of the bed, you have a choice before you.
Decide whatever you want to do, that you are now going to become actively involved right now, exploring the possibilities for you. That you're going to look at it and do just a little bit of it right now. Decide to do it now. There's no guarantees you're going to show up tomorrow. There are a lot of people who were here yesterday that they're not here today. There are a lot of opportunities that were around yesterday. They're not here today. Oh, you can wait, but you know what Abraham Lincoln said? Well, good things might come to those who wait, but only the things that have been left over by those who hustle.
When I was young, there was an amazing publication called the Whole Earth Catalog, which was one of the Bibles of my generation. It was created by a fellow named Stuart Brand, not far from here in Menlo Park, and he brought it to life with his poetic touch. This was in the late 60s, before personal computers and desktop publishing, so it was all made with typewriters, scissors, and Polaroid cameras. It was sort of like Google in paperback form 35 years before Google came along. It was idealistic, overflowing with neat tools and great notions. Stuart and his team put out several issues of the Whole Earth Catalog, and then, when it had run its course, they put out a final issue. It was the mid-1970s, and I was your age. On the back cover of their final issue was a photograph of an early morning country road, the kind you might find yourself hitchhiking on if you were so adventurous. Beneath it were the words, "Stay hungry, stay foolish." It was their farewell message as they signed off. Stay hungry, stay foolish.
Name your price in the beginning.
You have to stop looking at what you don't have and what's not happening for you and start appreciating like what you do actually have. What do I have to be thankful for? And everybody got something to be thankful for. Even a homeless man, if he wanted to, he could be like, yo, I'm breathing today. Like, you can start very small, and it's a process, but that's how you can get up out like of a negative space like that. What I'm telling you right now, what I realize is like the monetary, the material, even the success and like the things that you place your importance on never can satisfy you and ever make you happy because they never end. There's no amount of money that will ever make you stop if money is what you care about. You can never get enough of that. I realize that. It's like it doesn't stop. It keeps calling you. It's like a drug. It's just a thing. It ain't real. It's not real. Like, to me, what's real is like something spiritual, something like a connection with somebody, like love is real.
everybody wants to make it, and you might not make it. And I said to my dad, well, that depends on what making it is, Dad. I said, if I can make a teacher salary doing comedy, I think that's better than being a teacher. And he started laughing. He said, if you keep that attitude, I think you should go. He said, but name your price in the beginning. If it ever gets more expensive than the price you name, get out of there.
I hear a lot of talk about old-time great fighters. I hear people say that Joe Louis, Jack Dempsey, Jack Johnson, Jim Jeffries, and all of them would have annihilated the likes of myself, Muhammad Ali. After watching these films, watching their opponents, watching their styles, watching how they fought, watching their footwork and their speed, and my critics will admit that I am the fastest heavyweight in the history of boxing with feet and hands.
Cassius Marcellus Clay. He's young, he's handsome, they know it. He's a poet, a prophet, and many people believe he'll be the next heavyweight champion of the world.
Come here. I'm the greatest thing that ever lived. I don't have a mark on my face, and I upset Sonny Liston, and I just turned 22 years old. I must be the greatest.
Muhammad said, service to others is the rent you pay for your room here on earth.
And I think Muhammad's hope is that his life provides some guidance on how we might achieve for all people what we aspire for ourselves and our families.
It may come as a shock to you, but I say that I would have beat every heavyweight that ever lived before me.
Look like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Ah, rumble, young man, rumble. Hey, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna rumble.
Muhammad wants young people of every background to see his life as proof that adversity can make you stronger. It cannot rob you of the power to dream and to reach your dreams.
A man who refused to believe that reality was limitation.
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a?
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a, putain? Luxie on dirait un papa avec les nouveaux là, il m'énerve.
C'est-à-dire
je te prends la main, suis-moi, vas-y. OMG quoi, c'est papa. Tant mieux.
Tant mieux.
OMG putain, go être leur oncle là, typique. Oncle Arthur. Je vois que tu n'aimes pas le fun ni les blagues.
Non.
Je vais faire du vélo moi, à tout à l'heure. Je vais te dire à tout à l'heure pour les rênes tati. Du coup tu veux tout faire de design ou pas pour les trucs de...
Non, enfin c'est... Bah ça aurait été plus drôle si je savais qui y avait dans les... qui y avait dans les équipes, mais comme là... Ce sera décidé au dernier moment.
Quoi, tu veux dire qu'on improvise?
Ouais.
Quoi? Tu veux dire qu'on n'est pas sérieux?
Ouais.
Quoi? Tu veux dire que je suis en carton?
Ouais.
Et oui, tu as raison, si tu gagnes 500 kilos de pâtes de fruits à la rhubarbe, bravo, oui.
Mais c'est pas bon, la pâte de fruits à la rhubarbe.
Tu vas la manger en entier, sinon la pourrir chez toi.
Non.
Get wrecked. Ainsi mon oui. À tout à l'heure.
À toute.
User left your channel.
Born a great opportunity. And that's what you have here tonight. That's what you earned here tonight. One game. If we played them 10 times, they might win 9. Not this game. Not tonight. Tonight, we stay with them. And we shut them down because we can.
It's one game that happens once a day somewhere around the world where it's the game. It's the game that nobody but you think you can win. It's one game around the world and somehow it blessed us and it's here. It's here. Because don't nobody but the people in this locker room then we got a fucking chance to bust their ass. My heart been, my body been getting hot. I thought I was nervous. I said, damn man, I fumbled twice before the game. I was nervous. Yeah, I looked around, see some people facing the same smile. I said, oh man, they can't be nervous. Ain't no way they're nervous. I ain't nervous. My heart slowed down a little bit. My heart slowed down a little bit. I ain't nervous no more. I'm like, all right, I'm good. Come back. Come back. Damn, what is this feeling? What is this feeling? I'm like, am I scared? I look around like, oh, he got the same face I got. He can't be scared. He ain't scared. I ain't scared. What's this feeling? What's this feeling? I look around. It's adrenaline. I'm ready. I'm ready for this game. I'm not gonna let you come in my house, in my building,
It's our time. Ain't no time now to worry about what to put down for us. Don't look at the scoreboard. One play at a time. From the first play to the last play. Give it to me. One time. First play to last play. Don't get what's yours. You determine what happens to you. You control your outcome. You control what happens to us. We do. Nobody else in the country can say that every year. We always do.
There is no fear. There is no timidity. You're a bunch of lions. You're a bunch of lions chasing the lion into the lion's pit. And we're crawling out, bloodied and whatever it takes, man. Just one play at a time. All right? That's visualization or whatever. Just go play one play at a time like it's your last play. This is what you were meant to do. This is what you work for your life, right? Let's go out and do it.
You out hit him, you out hustle, you out work him, you out compete him. Out hit hustle, out hit him, out hustle, out compete him. Then everything else will fall into place. Everybody holds on to that rope. You hold this team tight, you hold that rope tight, and somebody starts to slip off, you hold that guy going off till your fingers start to bleed.
Forget about the crowds, the size of the school, their fancy uniforms, and remember what got you. Focus on the fundamentals we've gone over time and time again. And most important, don't get caught up thinking about winning or losing this game. If you put your effort and concentration into playing to your potential, to be the best that you can be, I don't care what the scoreboard says at the end of the game, in my book, we're going to be winners. Okay?
It's about flesh and blood. It's about a heartbeat that beats strong. It's about a passion that is unyielding. And I want you men to know today is your hour. It is your time.
any short moment. Go take it. Go do what you've been prepared to do. In the words of my middle school coach, don't fight. You can't fight no more. You can't fight no more. Go lie down and breathe a while. You gonna get up, fight some more. Don't you say it when you repeat it after me when I say it. We gonna fight? You can't fight no more. You can't fight no more. Go lie down. Lie down. Breathe a while. Breathe a while. Don't get up. Don't get up. Fight some more. Fight some more.
Champions know what fucking happens here. Switch on, switch off. Switch on, switch off. Fuck the outside, the exterior conditions. It all happens internally, and they know that inside the fucking mind. You give me a guy who fucking got that right, he will kick the fucking crap out of the guy who's in the fucking gym 6 or 7 hours a day, carrying his fucking cooler, 3 or 4 personal fucking trainers, all the functional training equipment and everything else. Give me the guy who's got it fucking here. All the great, incredible athletes, they don't stand in the mirror and say, my work is done. They say the work begins tomorrow anew with new knowledge. I start all over again. That's why they're fucking champions. That's why they're champions.
I can see it in you. The power of preparation, man. The power of preparation. And let you see and react. Now, trust tonight. It's going to be important. Trust the coach. Trust the guy beside you. Trust your eyes and trust yourself. See it, make it. See a little, see a lot. See a lot, see nothing. Discipline. Look at what you're supposed to look at. Don't try to be the hero. Heroes are guys that do their job consistently every day. Do the right thing over and over, and you beat them with consistency. Over and over and over. Know what you got to do, but you understand it's going to be physical, man. It's got to be physical. It's got to be nasty. Understand something. Nothing worth ever having in this world comes easy. Nothing's going to come easy tonight. Understand that from the first play to the last play. This team's going to play your tail off. That's good, because we're going to play their tail off. That's what it's about. The things you remember in life are the things that are hard to get. Like what you've been able to persevere through, push through, overcome to be where you're at right now. It's a special group of guys sitting in this room. It's an elite group of guys. Are doing things that may never be done again. But understand something, every time you go out, you got to prove your stripes. So of every game when you start, 0-0. You don't get to carry no points over, you don't get to carry anything over. You got to start, you got to finish. But here's the great thing. You control what happens to you. The greatest thing in life you guys got to understand, you control the outcomes of everything that happens to you. By the decisions you make, the preparation, and your actions. In the field, off the field. That's what this is about. You controlling what happens to you. It's in our hands. What we do, how we do it, the way we do it. Now you just got to execute and do it. That's going to take 3 things now, guys. You got to have great emotion in this game. You got to have great togetherness in this game. But at the same time, you got to be able to think and function. The man can keep it high, process the information, make great decisions in the game. Don't be selfish. Don't let your pride override anything with your team. Make smart decisions in the game. You play physical, you play violent, but you play clean. You play penalty-free. You tackle, you hit on the rise, step on the toes.
My mind start making up excuses why I can get away with not doing it. As soon as that starts to happen in your mind, you need to scream out, fuck you. Fuck you. You say to yourself, you're going to tell me, you're going to try to talk me out of doing what I know is good for me, makes me a more powerful human being, that means something to the quality of my life. You're going to try to talk me out of it? Fuck you! This is how I'm going to punish you.
Because in life, that's what it's about. Holding on, lifting as we climb. So tonight, we lift as we climb. We hold on to the rope. There was a day that I became wealthy. I'll tell you the day, I know that day I was rich. I was broke. I was pissed. I was angry at everybody else but who? Myself. I had a friend that I loaned money to when I had barely enough and I knew he needed it, and I gave him $1,200, and I'm here not able to eat. I'm down to like $25, $26, and I'm saying to him, calling him, and he's not returning my call, and I just need some money, and he's ignoring me. I didn't ignore him, so I'm pissed. I'm frustrated. In the midst of all this, I'm also pragmatic. I got 25 and change, call it $26. What the hell am I gonna do? I don't have any plans for economics. I got overhead that's crazy. I'm living in this little tiny apartment, 400 square feet in Venice, California. I should have been freaking out. How the fuck am I gonna eat? But I didn't. I flew because something inside of me, I finally got past scarcity. I finally realized there's something inside of us more than our limits, especially around this thing called money that I had let terrorize me. And I got home, and the mailman came that day, and I had no idea I was gonna have my next meal. And a letter comes, and it's from the guy I loaned the money to. Handwritten note saying, I've been avoiding you, it's wrong, I'm so sorry, you were there when I needed you. Here's what I owe you plus a little bit more. And the $1,200 was there, plus another $100 for the time that I had to take care of it. And I cried, and then I decided, what does this mean? I thought, this means that whenever you give, it's always gonna come back, so you don't have to ever think about that bit again. Just give. I don't know if that's coincidence, but I decided to believe that day was the blessing when I became rich. And I can tell you honestly, I've had tough days in my life, economically, emotionally, like all of us. But I've never gone back to that scarcity, I never will. The secret to living is giving. Do it when you don't have it, and I promise you, scarcity will leave your life.
Arsenal fans, we assume, have seen enough and are heading for home already. And now the chance for Walcott to make an impact for Arsenal. And at last, something goes right for them, right near the end of the half. Could that be the start of an improbable comeback? Thomas Yuri's header! And talk about an instant impact! Koscielny! Walcott with a chance! And is it over? It is now! And Arsenal have done it! From 4-0 down, they've drawn it level right at the death! Shaman goes for goal and does it! Arsenal, who were 4-0 down, lead for the first time! And Arsenal, having seemingly been down and out once, then packed back again by Reading, have surely hit now for the last time! To seal it once and for all for Arsenal here, and he has! So ends one of the most remarkable nights in League Cup history as Arsenal claim a 7th.
In the acting business, you fail all the time. Early on in my career, I auditioned for a part in a Broadway musical. Perfect role for me, I thought. I didn't get the job. But here's the thing. I didn't quit. I didn't fall back. I walked out of there to prepare for the next audition, and the next audition, and the next audition. I prayed. I prayed. And I prayed. But I continued to fail and fail. So you will catch a break, and I did catch a break. Last year, I did a play called Fences on Broadway. Won the Tony Award. But here's the kicker. It was at the Court Theater. It was at the same theater that I failed that first audition 30 years prior.
You know, every time you lose at something, you're one step closer to winning the next time. The difference between successful people and not successful people are people give up. The hardest thing in life to learn is to lose. Winning's easy. You win, you're happy, you get a high five, your friends are happy. It's your ability to take a loss, get up the next day, dust yourself off, and keep going. I have lost at everything you can imagine. Seriously, I have been beat up and put down, and everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for me, but I just kept going.
For those of you that have experienced some hardships, don't give up on your dream. No one could have convinced me by holding on, by continuing to push forward,
by continuing to run toward my dream. That one day, I would have my own talk show. It's a long shot, ladies and gentlemen, from Liberty City, an abandoned building on a floor. Never knowing my mother or father. It's a long shot. Being here with you today in this dome in Atlanta, it's a long shot. No college training, labeled educable, mentally retarded, but I kept running toward my dream.
I remember when I did my very first show, I worked my butt off and saved $12,000 tax returns from H&R Block money. I saved it, worked hard, saved it myself, rented the 14th Street Playhouse, put that show up, thought that 1,200 people would come over a weekend and 30 showed up, and I knew every one of them. But I didn't stop. That didn't deter me. That was in 1992. 93. Same thing happened. 94, 95, 96, 97, up until 1998. Same devastation, nobody showing up in the audience. I was doing one show a year, working with different promoters, trying to get the show up, and nobody showed up. But I didn't stop. And what I say to you now, looking at me now, here, I am a human being. There's no difference between my humanness and your humanness. The only thing is, if you're trying to get there, you cannot stop believing in any way. No matter what anybody says, no matter what anybody tells you, you have to know it beyond knowing it.
Just keep going. Find that thing you love, because it's tough work.
Given my circumstances, if my birth parents came down this aisle right now, I would not know either one if my daddy came up here or my mother came up here. Given the fact that I was born in an abandoned building on a floor, being labeled educable, mentally retarded, she said, no one could have convinced me that day when I walked in that house. And this lady was holding you and your brother. And she said, ma'am, I want you to promise me 2 things. And she said, what is it? She says, 1, promise me that you won't separate them. She said, I want them raised together. I want them to know each other. I got pregnant while my husband was away in the war, and I can't keep them. Promise me that you won't separate them. She said, I promise I won't. I've never had children. I promise I won't separate them. And she said, promise me that you'll never tell them about who I am, because if my husband ever found out, he would kill me. She said, I promise. And she said that she gave them to us, and she kind of cried, and she was walking out the door, and she looked at my adopted mother. She said, remember, don't you separate them. She said, I swear to God, I won't. I won't separate them. I'll keep them together. And she said, as I held y'all in my arms, I never had any children of my own. I didn't know how I was going to do it. But I knew with the help of God, I would do it. And ladies and gentlemen, my mother had a dream of having children and raising us. She didn't know how she was going to do it. See, when I was in the 5th grade, I was identified as EMR, labeled educable mentally retarded. Put back from the 5th grade to the 4th grade. I failed again when I was in the 8th grade. I have no college training. And a man changed my life, and I'll never forget his name, Mr. Leroy Washington. He's in his 80s now, and he's blind from glaucoma, but he gave me a different vision of myself. I was in his class waiting on another student. He came in and said, young man, go to the board and work this problem out for me. I said, oh, sir, I can't do that. I said, why not? I said, I'm not one of your students. He said, look at me. Yes, sir. Go to the board and work the problem out anyhow. I said, sir, I can't do that. He said, why? I said, sir, because I'm educable mentally retarded, sir. I'm in special education. And the students started laughing. They said, that's Leslie. That's not Wesley. He's DT. Wesley is the smart twin. He said, what does DT stand for? I said, I'm the dumb twin, sir. And as the students laughed at me, he came from behind his desk, he looked at me and he said, don't you ever say that again. Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. On one hand, I was humiliated, but on the other hand, I was liberated, because he looked at me with the eyes of Goethe, who said, look at a man the way that he is, he only becomes worse. But look at him as if he were what he could be, then he becomes what he should be. And so we developed a relationship. And one of the things that I can just tell you as you think about your goals and dreams, all of us can say in a spirit of integrity that it's possible. That if anybody at any point in time lived their dream, then it's possible that I can live mine. And what I did was, I made a mistake. I looked at my goals and dreams, and my mind said, how will you do that? I went from my heart to my mind, and I stayed up there for 14 years. 14 years. I can't bring those 14 years back. Those years are gone. And I've made a mission in my life to help people to stop putting it off and procrastinating. The first time I stood up to speak, I stood up and my mind sat down. I looked at the audience and I panicked. I had to introduce a play at school. We're about to start. Ran off, Mr. Washington. Mr. Brown, where are you going? Mr. Washington, I can't think, sir. I don't know. Did you rehearse? Yes, sir, I did. Well, what's wrong? Why did you say your lines? I don't know, sir. I got up there and I looked at him and everything left me. Let me do it another day, please, sir. No, go back out there, Mr. Brown. Mr. Washington, I'll mess up, please, sir. Don't send me out there now. I'll mess up. Mr. Brown, if you run now, you will always be running. Anything that's worth doing badly until you get it right. Why are you moving like that? I gotta go to the bathroom, sir. Mr. Brown, go back out there. Yes, sir. We have started a play called 12 Angry Men, directed by Mr. Leroy Washington. And I ran off. The next day, hey, Alfalfa! They dogged me out. They talked about me so bad. The next time another event came up, Mr. Washington, Mr. Brown, you're up. I said, no, Mr. Washington. Everybody says, no, not him. I said, they're right, Mr. Washington, not me. He said, Mr. Brown, you're up. Yes, sir. And I went out, and pretty soon, when people laughed at me, it didn't bother me. They would throw paper, and I could catch it without losing my concentration. And then one day, I came out, and a hush went across the audience, because it must have been something about me that indicated that I'd come to myself. And Mr. Washington had been practicing with me to give a presentation. And I looked at the audience and I said, I choose not to be a common man. It's my right to be uncommon if I can. I seek opportunity, not security. I do not wish to be a kept citizen, humbled and dull by having the state look after me. I want to take the calculated risk, to dream and to build, to fail and to succeed. I refuse to live from hand to mouth. I prefer the challenges of life to the guaranteed existence, the thrill of fulfillment to the stale calm of utopia. I will never cower before any master, nor bend to any threat. It's my heritage to stand erect, proud and unafraid, to face the world boldly and say, this I have done. I used to feel all my life that people who had college degrees were more intelligent than me. I remember going to see the late Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, the author of the book, The Power of Positive Thinking. And I used to look at him up on stage and I said, I could do that. I would love to talk to people. I love to talk to people. And I said, I could do that. But then when I started going back to my car, my mental conditioning activated itself, and it said, Les Brown, you can't do that. You don't have a college education. Les Brown, you can't do that. You don't have the training. You've never worked for a major corporation. You can't do that. What makes you think you can earn $5, $10, $15, $20,000 in an hour? You don't earn that now working for 2 or 3 months.
I had to retrain my thinking because of what I saw. Studies indicating that the decisions we make in life is directly related to the things that we saw, the things that we experienced, the conversations we've been exposed to between age 0 and 5. And so as a result of that, my experience, I had to begin to engage in a process of retraining my mindset. And I didn't even know what I was doing.
It's very important for you to believe that you are the one to make this happen. I remember this high school teacher, Mr. Leroy Washington, at the end of school one June, it was just a few days before we were supposed to leave, and I just got my report card, and it indicated that I'd failed history, and I'd failed English, and I would have to go to summer school. And I was feeling within myself that I was a failure, that I'm slower than most people in getting paperwork, and I was feeling down on myself and very negative. And Mr. Washington was giving a speech to the graduating seniors, and I was in 11th grade. And even though I wasn't supposed to be in there, I went in there because the speech he was giving, that speech was for me.
talk, my heart began to beat fast. Tears began to run by my eyes, and I was in the back just listening to him. He said, as graduating seniors of Booker T. Washington High School, I want you to know that you're blessed and highly favored, and that as you go toward the future, begin to know that you have greatness within you. And if just one of you here begin to envision yourselves as being blessed and highly favored to reach your goals, if just one of you capture the essence
Putain,
of
désolé,
what that means, that you
je
have
regarde
greatness
vraiment pas le
within you,
chat, du coup
responsibility to manifest that
j'ai dû te
greatness.
louper.
That you can make your parents proud, you can make your school proud, you can touch millions of people's lives, and the world will never be the same again because you came this way. And the students gave him a rousing standing ovation. And as he left the auditorium, I ran down the steps and I caught him in the parking lot. I said, Mr. Washington? He said, yes. I said, do you remember me, sir? My name is Leslie Brown. My mother, she works in the cafeteria here. I'm one of the twins, Leslie and Wesley. I said, Mr. Washington, but you know, I got these big dreams. You know, I like talking to people. I love people. I said, I want to work with people, and I got this dream of buying my mama a home. Could I do that, Mr. Washington? He said, it's possible, Mr. Brown. And as he walked away, I called him again. I said, Mr. Washington? He said, what do you want now? I'm the one, sir. I said, I'm the one. You remember me, sir. I'm Miss Mamie Brown's boy. I'm the one. I'm the one. My first major goal was to buy my mother a home. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, what will reasons do, Les? Nietzsche said, if you know the why for doing, you can endure almost anyhow. What do you mean by that? If you know why you're doing something, when the hard times come, and they're going to come, when the disappointments and the rejections come, and they're going to come by the truckloads, your reasons will be your rod and staff to comfort you, to pick you up. Once again, I got a saying on one of my tapes, if life knocks you down, try and land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. Let your reasons get you back up.
Mr. Brown, what do you want to do with your life, young man? Sir, I'd like to become a disc jockey. Why, sir? Because I want to buy my mother a home. He said, great. Listen to Paul Harvey. Here are my car keys. Go in the car. 12 noon. He comes along every day. Why? Because if you want to be successful, study the people that are doing what you want to do. He's the best in the world when it comes to communication. I suggest to you, as you look at what you want to achieve, look at the top achievers. Understand and know they are only an example. They are not an exception. They're an example of what you can do, because success leaves clues. Follow the system, watch the leaders, and study them. I did that. And he said, Mr. Brown, detoxify your life. Let all the negative people in your life go. Can I change them? No. It's a full-time job changing yourself. He's right. All my life, people have always compared me to my brother because I'm not smart like him. It takes me longer to get things than most people. I have to hear it again and again. But once, I got it, sir. I got it. You're the only person that never called me stupid or dumb. You never call me DT, the dumb term. You look at me like I'm somebody. I've never had a father, and I watch you. And I want to be able to talk like you. I get choked up sometimes because I can't get my thoughts out, sir. I want to do what you do, and I want to make my mama proud. He said, you can do it, Mr. Brown. I've given you all you can get from me. Now it's on you. If you want to be a disc jockey, go out into the marketplace. I became the errand boy for the disc jockeys. I'd go get their lunch and their dinner. And I stand in the control room watching them move their hands, knowing my time will come. One day, it was a Saturday afternoon, a disc jockey by the name of Rockin' Roger was drinking while he was on the air. He began to slur his words. He got so drunk he was about to fall off the chair. And I was the only one there, looking at him through the control room window. Then pretty soon the phone rang. It was the general manager, and I answered the phone. I said, hello? He said, Rock can't finish the show. I said, I know. I called my mom and my girlfriend, Cassandra. I said, y'all come out on the front porch and turn on the radio. I'm about to come on the air. He said, young boy, you know how to work the controls? I said, yes, sir. He said, go in there and segue the records. Don't you say nothing here. I put on a fast record. I said, look out, this is me, LB Triple P. Les Brown, your platter playing papa. There were none before me, and there will be none after me.
I remember when I bought the home for my mother, and she came out of the car. When I opened the door, I said, Mom, I think I know these people in this house. That was my first major goal. And then I couldn't conceal it anymore. I said, Mom, I got this for you. And as she went from room to room, looking at the house and saying, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. No one ever could have convinced me that this could have happened to me. I remember when I was in broadcasting, when I was a disc jockey, I became very controversial, not only being a disc jockey, but I felt that radio was something that you not only entertain people with, but you also empower them, you educate them. And I got fired. I didn't just leave, they fired me. They took my microphone. I thought that was who I was. No, ladies and gentlemen, it wasn't. I had to do something else. And I didn't know what else I could do. See, life had moved on me and said, Les Brown, you have outgrown this. It's time for you to do something else. And so a guy suggested to me, he said, Les, why don't you run for office? So I ran. Now here's what I'm suggesting. I ran. You got to do what you can where you are with what you have. I didn't have any money. I didn't know anything about the political process. I didn't even have any support. But here's what the guy told me. It's possible you could win. That's all I had. I was running against an endorsed candidate. He was an incumbent. He had the newspaper support, all of the leadership in the community. And I was challenging this guy. So I had a saying when I was on radio, stand up for what you believe in because you can fall for anything. And I would go door to door. I have my kids on one side of the street. I would be on the other. And I'd knock on doors. Hello, my name is Les Brown. Tell everybody I'm still standing. See, I'm saying just keep moving. Don't stop feeling sorry for yourself. Don't spend time blaming and talking about what happened to you. See, whatever you talk about, that's what you multiply and expand in your life experience. So don't talk about stuff unless you want it to keep on happening to you, all right? Had my children with me. We're going door to door. Didn't have enough money. Eventually, we got close to the election and something happened that really surprised me. Guys who I thought were going to either support me or stay out of it, various powerful community leaders, they became involved in it and they endorsed my opponent. I felt devastated. Now that's going to happen to you when you're working on your dream. Things are going to happen
that's going to catch you on the blind side. That was shocking to me. Usually in the state representative race, maybe 3,000 or 4,000 people will come out to vote in a primary. In that primary race, over 27,000 people came out and voted. I won, ladies and gentlemen. So you've got to be willing to stay focused, to be creative, to be relentless, because things are going to happen to you when you're working on your dream. And so the things happen in life. When you have goals and dreams, things happen. Had no idea. Midway of my third term, my mother became ill. She was diagnosed with breast cancer. My brothers and sisters called me and said they're going to put her in a nursing home. And I said, no. They said, we thought you would say that. We've interviewed the best nursing homes in Dade County. I said no. So I had a problem. How can one woman raise 7 children who couldn't take care of themselves, but 7 grown people couldn't take care of one woman? I had a problem with that. So I resigned from the Ohio legislature and I came back to Miami to take care of Mama, and took care of her until 89. When I decided to become a speaker, I didn't just quit my job and just ran out and say, I'm a motivational speaker. No. What I did was, I decided to start looking at other people that were involved in the speaking profession. I volunteered to work with some speakers so that I could learn. I've been an entrepreneur for 20 years. This is my 21st year. I could have been speaking and training for 34 years. But for 14 years, I was living in my head. For 14 years, I stopped myself. For 14 years, I used to go see Zig Ziglar, that I considered the #1 motivational speaker on the planet. Zig Ziglar and Tony Robbins, they're the best on the planet. Bob Proctor, they're the best on the planet. Jack Canfield, Mark Victor Hansen, T. Harv Eckert. I would go and see them, and then I would leave, and my conversation with myself was, my heart would say, I can do that. And then my mind would ask, how? How would you do that, Les Brown? What will they listen to me for? And that's the way I felt. And so I had to visualize myself speaking before them, speaking before various audiences that had more going for them than I did, and realize and appreciate my own value, and that I was a worthwhile person, even though I didn't have all going for me. I didn't have the money, I didn't have the education that they had. So part of the process is seeing yourself, being worthy. For a major corporation. I wanted to speak for corporations. I was afraid I would be exposed because I don't have a college education. I felt inferior because of the fact that I don't have a college education. I allowed that level of fear of failure to stop me. And because I never had any experience in it, I assumed that I could not do it. I was paralyzing myself by believing and assuming the limited part of myself as opposed to believing that I had something special. It's hard changing your life. It was hard when just over 3 years ago in the Penobscot building in Detroit, Michigan, where I was operating my business, and I fell on some hard times. And I was sleeping in my office. It was hard coming into the lobby, and the security said, excuse me, Mr. Brown, can we see you for a moment? And I said, yes, and I walked up to the counter, and he gave me an envelope. And he said, would you mind reading it here? And I opened the envelope, and the envelope was from management that said, this is an office tower. It's not a hotel. Please, do not sleep in your office. And I said, excuse me, sir. I said, I just work long hours in creating my business. I'm an entrepreneur. And right now, things are bad for me. But they're not going to be this way always. And I just asked for the opportunity to continue to operate like I'm doing. I'm not trying to make this my home. And it was hard coming through the lobby.
And sometimes they would laugh. There's a guy talking about becoming successful. And look at him. He's bathing in the bathroom upstairs on the 21st floor. He sleeps on the floor. Him and two other dreamers up there. Look at him. It was hard, ladies and gentlemen, coming to speak to people. And I was facing financial difficulties in my own life. I was behind on my bills and my dreams, and I'm saying to them, you can live your dream. It was hard, ladies and gentlemen. It was very difficult to pick myself up each day believing that I could do it. There were times that I doubted myself. I said, God, why is this happening to me? I'm just trying to take care of my children and my mother. I'm not trying to steal or rob from anybody. How did this have to happen to me? It was very hard. And here's what I want to say to you. For those of you that have experienced some hardships, don't give up on your dream. No one could have convinced me by holding on, by continuing to push forward, by continuing to run toward my dream, that one day I would have my own talk show. It's a long shot, ladies and gentlemen, from Liberty City, an abandoned building on a floor, never knowing my mother or father. It's a long shot. Being here with you today in this dome in Atlanta, it's a long shot. No college training, labeled educable, mentally retarded, but I kept running toward my dream. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop running toward your dream. It's very important as you hold on to that dream. There are moments when you're going to doubt yourself. There are rough times are going to come, but they have not come to stay. They have come to pass. It's very important for you to know that. Don't say I'm having a bad day. Say I'm having a character building day. And I remember when PBS first played one of my specials called You Deserve one Sunday afternoon in Miami, Florida. And he watched the program. He called me in Detroit, and I answered the phone. I said, hello. He said, may I speak to Les Brown, please? I said, who's calling? He said, you know who this is. I said, oh, Mr. Washington, it's you. He said, you were the one, weren't you? I said, yes, sir.
If you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it, if all that you dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it, and if you gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it, and lose all your terror of the opposition for it, and if you simply go after that thing that you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold poverty, famish, or gall, sickness or pain of body and brain can keep you away from the thing that you want, if dogged and grim you besiege and beset it, with the help of God, you'll get it.
I kind of set it out there and say, now how we're going to get there, I'm not sure, but it's there. Goals and dreams that I've had, 19 out of 20 that I wrote down in 1988. I completely forgot about them.
Myself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered, and I gave myself 5 years. And I dated at Thanksgiving 1995.
All of us have things that we're believing for, something that we want to accomplish. Deep down, we know it's a part of our destiny. We can feel it so strongly. But then we hit some setbacks. We didn't get the promotion. The medical report wasn't good. Or a relationship didn't work out. Life has a way of pushing our dreams down. They can become buried under discouragement, buried under past mistakes. There are dreams buried under divorce, buried under low self-esteem. It's easy to settle for mediocrity even though we have all this potential buried on the inside. Your dream may be buried. The good news is it's still alive. It's not too late to see it come to pass. We've all been through disappointments and setbacks. Life happens. But instead of remembering the hurt, the pain, what didn't work out, the key to reaching your destiny is you have to remember your dream. Dreams that you've given up on. You tried, it didn't work out, it's been so long, they're going to suddenly come back to life. Problems that looked permanent going to suddenly turn around.
Put in my time, you know, I got dues that have been paid and paid again and paid one more time after that. I stayed true to my dreams, and by doing that, eventually it came true.
Dreams without goals remain dreams, just dreams, and ultimately fuel disappointment.
And I put it in my wallet, and I kept it there, and it deteriorated and deteriorated.
Completely forgot about it. I pulled a diary out last year, and 19 out of 20 I'd done.
Had nothing at that time, so it was like, but it just made me feel better. It made me, at that time, all it really was for me was kind of making me feel better. I would drive home and think, well, I do have these things, and they're out there. I just don't have a hold of them yet, but they're out there.
Dreams without goals. Yearly goals, life goals, daily goals, monthly goals, hourly goals, minute by minute goals. Dreams without goals are just dreams.
Just before Thanksgiving 1995, I found out that I was going to make $10 million on, I think it was Dumb and Dumber.
People don't stand up and protect their dreams. People are too scared of getting, spoofed in a way.
Keep your dream alive.
because it might come true someday.
He said, when life can no longer threaten you with death, so what else is there? What else is there? And the majority of the fears that we have are not life or death fears. They're not those kind of fears. But through our imagination, we blow them out of proportion and we give them more power than they actually have or deserve. And we permit them to govern our lives. We permit them to determine how far we can stretch out on our dreams and discovering our stuff. And as we begin to look at ourselves and begin to, wait a minute, just getting to the point as you assess yourself and begin to prove yourself and just say, wait, hold a minute. I've been sweating this out. What's the worst thing that can happen to me on this? Will it kill me? Will I die? Why am I going through all of these changes over this? How much power does this really have? And am I the one that's feeding the power into it? You can either live your dreams or live your fears. And I think the majority of people actually are not living their dreams, but are living their fears. So I want to ask you a question. What are your fears? What are you afraid of? What are you scared of? Because we all have fears, don't we? We all have something that's blocking us, that's holding us back. And as we begin to look at life, what we realize is that the reason that most people are not living out their true potential, are not doing all of the things that they would really like to do, is because of fear. What are the things that you fear that's been keeping you from living your dream? That's been keeping you from doing some things that you would like to do? Just think about those things. And how do we begin to handle that? Abraham Maslow said that life is about growth. And he said, you can either go back to your comfort zone, and there you won't find any growth, or you must be willing to go forward and face your fears again and again and again. Because you're never going to have a fear-free existence. I mean, some fear is acceptable and legitimate. There are some things that you really should be afraid of. Now, you shouldn't allow it to immobilize you. You acknowledge it, you take it into account, and you carry yourself accordingly. There are times that we should proceed with caution. But it's the difference between being stopped by fear. It's the difference between having a fear and the fear having you. So deciding as you look at your life, as you look into the future and say, what fears am I holding on to? What fears that I'm allowing to imprison me? It's keeping me from breaking out. That's keeping me from living up to my true potential. That's keeping me from really being happy. that's keeping me from having a sense of adventure and excitement in my life? What's keeping me from controlling my destiny? What fears that I'm giving that permission to? Notice what I said, that we must give our permission to fear to immobilize us. Because whatever discomfort you experience, whatever challenges or difficulty that it is, you got to handle it. Got to go up in there and wrestle with it. Will it be easy? No. Will it be challenging? Yes. A friend of mine who's going into recovery, he's been addicted to crack cocaine for years and alcohol. He was talking about how challenging it was and why he was dreading going into cold turkey. I said, what do you want me to tell you? That it's going to be a picnic? No, it's not. It's going to kick your butt? Yes, it is. Are you going to want to die? Yes, that's a part of it. But that's just what you must go through in order to get where you want to go. And guess what? You are strong enough to do it. You're strong enough, and your life is worth whatever you have to go through to get past this addiction. Whatever you have to do. This dream you got, whatever you want to do, will it be easy to just run out there and do it? No. Will it happen overnight? No. Will it be a struggle? Yes. Will there be times when you can't make ends meet? Yes, that's a part of it. Will there be times you won't know what to do? Yes, that's a part of it. See, when you are not filling your life with the things that you are capable of doing, see, we all have some stuff that we've been given. And I don't think that it's optional for us to sit on what we have. See, if you're sitting on what you have, what you've been given, I think everybody's been given something to bring to the planet. That only you can do that. Only you can perform that. Only you can initiate that activity. And if you don't do that, if you're not filling in your life with your life work or your mission, then there are gaps in your life. And what we do when we're not living out our true identity, we begin to fill the gaps. We fill the holes with garbage, alcohol, drugs, worry, self-destructive behavior. So when you begin to look at your life and you know that you're not doing what you can do because you have allowed yourself to be held captive by your fears. Now, when you don't have a true appreciation and acceptance for who you are, and you allow yourself to be immobilized by fear, what happens in the process is that you begin to abuse yourself. You begin to sabotage your life, you begin to sabotage your dreams, you begin to unconsciously work against yourself. You become your own worst enemy. So what do you do about that? Well, you begin to realize that your dream and your gifts have so much meaning and so much value for you till your hunger for them will begin to push you past the fear. Your hunger to have them will give you a special drive. As you work on yourself, as you begin to acknowledge your true identity, true power, the true capacity you have to bring about change, the miracle-working power that you have within yourself to do the things that you want to do. But there are some people, because of their personality, because of their contribution, because of the investment of their time and their energy and the impact they have there, that when they go, everybody will miss them. See, when Mother Teresa checks out, everybody will know. When Rosa Parks, everybody will know. Nelson Mandela, everybody will know. Why? Because of their contribution. See, but there's some people, because their contribution is so small, no one will care. So I'm saying, before you are boxed and buried, decide that you're going to box and bury your fears. Decide that you're going to begin to live life on a new level, seeking out new horizons, that you're going to find more love and more joy and more ways to give more to life. We go through life really blocking ourselves constantly, and fear is one of the greatest instruments that we could use to stifle our true potential. When you begin to look at your life, you can decide to use fear as a blocker, or you can decide to use it as building blocks. But you decide, hey, look here, I'm going to move in this direction. I'm not going to allow anything to stop me from doing what I want to do. Now, life is too short for that. Too short and unpredictable, moseying through. Not trying to disturb anything, not trying to shake anything up, not trying to make any waves. You see, there are some people who come through the universe, and their level of contribution and the level of energy they manifest is so small, so inconspicuous, that when they go, you won't even know they left. Everything a man does for himself, guess what? He takes with him. But everything he does for others, he leaves behind. So when you begin to say, what is it that I want to leave? What contribution that I want to begin to make? What difference do I want to make in life? What is it that I want to do with the rest of the life that I have left? What chances I need to take? What risks do I need to begin to embrace? What fears do I need to step on? What areas of my life am I dead right now? What dreams? You can either live your dreams or live your fears. You have got to get to a point where you say, I'm sick and tired of living like this. There's got to be more. That's when people go out and strike out on their dreams. That's when people get out of relationships where they're dying together rather than growing together. The impulse to dream has been slowly beaten out of me through the experience of life. And most people, ladies and gentlemen, have stopped living their dreams because of the lessons they've learned from life or things they've picked up, because we've only been born with two fears. The fear of a loud sound or the fear of falling. And all the other fears are fears we learn. Fears we pick up. Whatever you're scared of, your life, the value you brought to the planet, far more important. Whatever you're afraid of, you're stronger. So as we begin to look toward the future and look at what will it take for us to break through those fears, one, acknowledging the fear, knowing it's all right, some fear is healthy. Beginning to know that your dreams, your passions, your drive to achieve whatever it is you want, as it has more power and meaning, it will move you past your fears. As you begin to feel that you deserve it, your passion and goal is so strong, the fears won't matter. As you begin to trust yourself and put yourself in the situation where you have to make it happen, you will make it happen. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't believe this. I know this from my own life experience. I know that you've got greatness within you. I know that you have unlimited potential in you. I know that you have something to give to the universe. I think it was Joe Frazier who said this one. He says, all of us are like the blind man at some point in our lives standing on the corner waiting for somebody to lead us across. See, all of us at some point in our lives need some help, need someone to reach out to us, to throw out the lifeline, to help us go across some treacherous waters that we couldn't navigate by ourselves. None of us do it by ourselves. All of us at some point in our lives. We need that kind of help. We need that kind of assistance because we grow from the people we have in our lives that can enrich our lives personally, professionally, spiritually, and all the dimensions of our lives. We don't grow in a vacuum. So as you look at yourself, what are the fears you have that maybe you need some help in strengthening yourself in that area? As you assess your strengths and your weaknesses, as you begin to prove yourself and your passions and your dreams and your goals and the things that you want, if you decide to experience all of your true potential, as you decide to manifest all of your greatness, as you decide, wait a minute, what else is available to me out here? If I decided to experience the fear of rejection, the fear of no, the fear of failure, The fear of standing by myself? What else is available? Of taking a chance, a fear of losing it all. What else is available to me that will bring some extra meaning and value? The fear of people not liking me. You know how many people do things they don't want to do because they want everybody to like them? Accept yourself, then you accept the fear as a fact and not a force. See, when you accept yourself and you accept fear as a fact, that means that it's something that happens. It's something that you're going to experience, but it is not a force to hold you back. It doesn't have any special power other than that you give it. So you accept the fact that you are afraid, and then you move on anyhow. You can have fears. Don't surrender. Don't let your fears have you. You're more than capable of making this your decade. Time to break out and play a bigger game. I want to leave this with you. My mother used to love this. I dedicate this to you and the dreamer in you. Leslie, say that thing for me, boy, that makes me feel good. It says simply this: if you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it, if all that you dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it, and if you gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it, and lose all your terror, the opposition for it, and if you simply go after that thing that you want, with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold, poverty, famine, or gout, sickness or pain of body and brain can keep you away from the thing that you want, dogged and grim, you besiege it and set it, you'll get it. Have somebody in your life, develop a relationship with someone who can see what you can't see. And the reason that most of us can't see our greatness is because you can't see the picture when you're in the frame. You need somebody with you. You need an Angelo Dundee who's in the corner of Muhammad Ali, who said, "I'm the greatest," but every bout that he won a championship, Angelo Dundee was in his corner. Michael Jordan was called one of the greatest basketball players of all time, but he never won a championship until Phil Jackson showed up. There's some people that can pull some stuff out of you that you cannot pull out of yourself. This is why I have lived and what I've learned and how the way in which you can access your greatness. And what I realize is that information won't do it. Information won't do it. He said the ideal situation for a man or woman to die, to have family members praying with them as they cross over. He said, but imagine, if you will, being on your deathbed, standing around your bed, the ghost of the dreams, the ideas, the abilities, the talents given to you by life, but you, for whatever reason, you never pursued those dreams. You never acted on those ideas. You never used those gifts. We never heard your voice. And there they are standing around your bed looking at you with large angry eyes saying, we came to you, and only you could have given us life. And now, we must die with you forever. And the question is, if you died today,
User joined your channel.
C'est pas bientôt fini là, les discours de bobo gauchistes, capitalistes, mais
Bon, c'est pas ça.
C'est agro.
Ouais, toi.
Ouais.
Ils sont très bien mes discours.
Comment tu dis?
Ils sont très bien mes discours.
Moi.
Enfin, moi je sais que j'aime bien. Bon après, ça plaît pas tout le monde.
J'aime bien les entendre en fait, j'écoute pas mal de post-rock et ce genre de choses là. Et dans le post-rock, comme c'est des musiques très ambiantes et tout, c'est généralement des musiciens engagés qui utilisent, ils aiment bien réutiliser en fait des discours ultra connus, des personnes connues à des moments calmes du morceau et tout, mais c'est vraiment ponctuel et c'est pas genre sur toute la durée de la musique.
Voilà, ouais, c'est ça tout le temps en fait, mais c'est justement ce que j'aime bien en fait.
À côté de ça, le do-it de Shia LaBeouf,
c'est du caca.
C'est du caca.
C'est du caca.
Alors, je vais faire quoi moi? Je vais commencer par faire les persos, c'est ça l'idée?
Bah ouais. Enfin, ce serait. Enfin, allez, limite qu'on puisse se dire, ok, ce qu'on va faire, ça va ressembler à ça. Donc, je sais pas si t'as vu, faudrait que je te redonne le lien d'écriture au doc. Putain, souris.
Sur le GitHub?
Non. En fait, je pense pas qu'on va passer par GitHub parce que parce qu'en fait, Unity propose déjà un système de version control. Voilà, c'est ça. Et du coup, bah, je pense qu'on va passer par là, hein, parce que de toute façon, on va pas normalement, on devrait pas passer par des branches ou quoi que ce soit.
Ouais.
Donc, parce que je pense que je serai à peu près le seul à dev.
Je crois, ouais.
Raiden, je pense.
On aura peut-être des coups de main ponctuels, mais sinon, je crois que c'est. Ouais, je crois qu'il y aura toi et moi.
Ouais. Du coup, bah toi, ouais, ça sert pas à grand chose. Je pense qu'on fasse un git, genre juste pour deux, où on sait qu'on va travailler sur des parties assez différentes, je pense.
Ouais, bien sûr.
Du coup, en fait, si tu veux, je te conseille de te faire un compte Unity, si t'en as pas déjà un avec ta Gmail. Et comme ça, je t'invite.
Quand j'ai Unity installé, je vais essayer de voir.
Je t'invite dans le groupe en fait, et après tu pourras clone le truc, j'imagine.
Ouais.
Et tu pourras move Purple parce qu'il voulait être move.
Ouais. Je savais pas qu'il y avait un espace sur la Malaisie.
Bah, il y en a un.
Hey,
enfin. Ça va?
Ça va et toi?
Eh ben écoutez, ça va.
Ça vient, et quand ça vient, ça va très bien, c'est ça?
Ah, je connaissais pas cette petite citation sympathique. Mais c'est marrant, ça dit.
J'ai pas encore fait mon compte en fait, j'ai pas encore. Depuis que j'ai installé Unity, j'ai pas encore une seule fois utilisé le programme pour pouvoir faire une scène.
Dites qui est à l'aise.
Aucune idée.
C'est absolument rien.
Ah non, t'es toujours en stream, Ti?
Ouais.
Ah. TMTC, hein.
Est-ce qu'on peut parler de censure, comment ça marche exactement?
Non, on peut parler de choses que je ne veux pas dire, en sachant que je ne sais pas qui écoute le
Mec, je suis en stream depuis tout à l'heure, donc je pense que s'il y a un connard qui décide de se taper 3 heures, il peut mériter de se faire insulter à un moment, quoi.
Ça... Non mais
peut-être Rio Tueur.
Mais
je crois pas qu'il soit encore là lui.
Mais
non, Rio Tueur il est parti.
Ouais, tout à l'heure je l'ai trash talk, il a rage quitté. Le mec il pense... Déjà il m'a dit qu'apparemment il me farmait. Première nouvelle. Et deuxième nouvelle.
Moi j'ai vu Mr. Raidens, meilleur joueur de la FACS.
Ouais, j'ai vu ça aussi. Non, et après il a dit Soulkiller. Ça, ok, peut-être. Et ce qui
Après,
c'est
c'est parce qu'il connaît que Soulkiller en skill personnel.
Oui, peut-être.
Vu que Soulkiller est Exode aussi.
Peut-être. Mais moi, ce qui est marrant, c'est que tu demandes à 15 personnes différentes de 15 outfits, t'as 15 noms différents dans la FACS qui sortent. C'est génial.
Différents quoi
Bah, tu demandes le meilleur joueur de la FACS à 15 personnes différentes, et bah il y a 15 pseudos différents qui sortent.
Ouais.
C'est génial.
Forcément.
Ouais, je sais bien. Non, 15 pseudos différentes, tu peux pas avoir plusieurs fois le même.
On me demande de toucher le téléphone, mais je sais pas c'est quoi le téléphone.
C'est quoi un téléphone, chef?
Je comprends pas. Chez moi on appelle ça un GSM.
Le relou, tu sais, il attend qu'on appelle ça un GSM sur le sur le truc.
Alors, hop, voilà. Ensuite.
Putain, je vais m'endormir devant Roland Garros.
Tu t'es endormi devant Roland Garros? C'est parce que le tennis c'est pas très passionnant.
Non, c'est parce que surtout bah il flotte, alors du coup ils ont arrêté les matchs.
Mais t'as vu ça ou quoi, le petit dauphin qui se fait sortir et tout?
Mais oui,
c'est la
il s'est
Belgique
tordu
qui est
là.
dans le désarroi quoi.
Mais oui, moi en plus
ce mec
c'est
est
quoi?
trop cool parce qu'en fait il peut encore évoluer donc c'est très intéressant de le suivre.
Mais tu sais que
pas genre au sommet quoi.
Avant j'étais une fois à Roland Garros pendant les qualifications parce que vu le